Hi everyone and welcome to another episode of Trip Around the Multiverse with your host, the man who was born in the dark, Carl Charles, and...
The man who's sent to prison to pay for his father's sins, CY Chong. Well, actually, no. Birthed in prison is what I meant.
Yes, he was birthed in prison because he was a word I'm not going to say. And this episode, we are going to talk about the man from Santa Prasca. I said it right?
Yeah.
Yay. The legendary luchador / breaker of the bat and many other titles, even generic thug number 1 in Batman and Robin, because that's what he was. Bane, yes.
Yes. Now, as you were saying, right, comic history of Bane is... Oh, no. I would say between the comic history and the public knowledge. Right. I guess when the general people think of Bane, it's just some muscle-bound dude using venom, to enhance his strength. And it's like, yeah, but when you think about it, how does a dude like that beat Batman?
Yeah,
because Batman's beaten people that are much stronger than him before.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna bring it to the point of the Arkham games, because that's where it seemed to me that Bane in Arkham Origins is actually really good as a character.
Yeah. He's great as a character. Yeah.
And then the next set of Batman, Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, Arkham Knight.
Yeah.
He was just a jabroni.
Yeah.
100% pure jabroni, which was really funny when you start playing. So it was Arkham Origins, Arkham City, and then Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, then Arkham Origins came out in between that.
Yep.
Which was kind of canon, but kind of not, depending on, because it was done by Rocksteady Montreal, not Rocksteady.
No, Rocksteady Montreal, yeah.
So they tried to kind of fit it in continuity without contradicting anything.
Yeah, which was very clever.
Yeah, and so we ended up with an intelligent Bane who's the main adversary of Arkham Origins, which found good because the Joker, yes, fair enough, he is the main villain, but he doesn't need to be as much in Arkham City as he was, because he's supposed to be, he was dying at the end of Arkham Asylum.
Yeah.
Because he injects himself with the Titan formula, which is like a spin-off of the Venom formula. So Bane in Arkham Origins, he actually had very good boss fights as well, I have to say. He was the one that was like causing me the most trouble.
I can't remember it now, because...
The first boss fight where he was basically just shoulder barging you.
What, in Arkham Origin or Arkham Asylum?
Arkham Origin. He did it in Arkham Asylum as well.
Yeah.
But the way they built towards him, how he came across like even though Arkham Origins is Batman's second year as Batman, and the first time Joker's making an appearance, Bane seemed to be his main nemesis throughout that.
Yeah.
All that time period, which in continuity always appears way later on, but
but then some of them continuity, he never broke Batman's back, so it's sort of weird.
Well, I mean, this is the Arkham Rocksteady verse, so fair enough. But when they went to the final battle, where somehow he and Joker are teammates but not, and he's like, Bane's got a heart monitor, and if it beats a certain amount of beats, then the Joker, being a crazy dude, puts himself in an electric chair and says, so what happens is if it beats too much, it's going to cause the electric in this electric chair to shoot up, and then it'll kill me. So Batman, you have to stop Bane's heart, and Batman obviously is dying, not kill, right? So Bane's like, well, someone's going to die. If you don't fight me to death, I will kill you. If you don't kill me, he will die. How you gonna do this? And I was like, oh, that's actually kind of tricky. I don't know how much of it is who's planned, but you gotta, hey. But then
something,
yeah. At the end of it, though, Bane gets electrocuted by by Batman's gauntlets.
Yeah.
He stops his heart, and then he restarts his heart.
Yeah, with the gauntlet.
And then Bane's like, well, Batman, I'm just going to inject myself with the next level of the Bane formula. And and then that causes issues that he has later on in Arkham Asylum, where how he's just a hulked up monster with very little brain.
Well, yeah, because he gets smarter in the next. Was he in Arkham City?
He was in Arkham City, but he wasn't smarter because I don't want to say he was dumber. But what it was like, Batman. There's tanks of Venom or Titan formula around Arkham City. So you go find 3 of them, I go find 3 of them, and then we'll converge back here to stop the delivery or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he's like, aha, Batman, you stopped all your Titan formula tanks or whatever. I'm keeping mine because, for reasons.
Yeah, but he was a lot smarter than he was in Arkham Asylum.
Batman's like, Bane, I knew you double-crossed me. I trapped you instead. And then it's like, oh, well, yeah. Okay. It was like, fair enough.
Yeah.
But it's a shame to see his intellect degrade.
Yeah.
When you look at how well Arkham Origins did him.
Yeah. It kind of makes sense in a way, because in Arkham Origins, Batman did basically... gave him permanent concussion, so yeah.
Yeah, well, you know what? Batman gave everyone a concussion. I'm backing you up here. I'm not just saying this. It's just like all these villains probably are caused by him.
Yeah,
causing brain damage on everyone.
CTE,
Yeah.
Oh, the worst.
Yeah. But yeah, I think in Arkham Origins they harvested the venom out of Bane's blood.
Yeah.
To create Titan. And so when you first time see Bane in Arkham Asylum, he's all skinny like he was in Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
And then they dose him up and he gets big again, and then you have to use the Batmobile to take him out.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then see him at the end.
But basically, you just lure him into running into walls and stuff like that, right? Pipes and all this stuff, and it's just like, oh, okay, well, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that makes some weird sense. But yeah.
All right. What do you think of the Batman and Robin Bane? I guess what we're going to do is speak about media Bane in other medium first, and then we'll get to the comics version of Bane.
Yeah, we could do that. Yeah.
Usually it's that way around, but I think there's a lot to say about the comics version.
Yeah, more than media.
Mm-hmm.
Where do we start? Where do we begin? Batman, the animated series Bane was pretty good.
Yeah.
Who was in the original.
Wait, hold on. Huh? Which version of Bane? Do you mean, like, when I say you know how you got a redesign in the Batman? Is it season 4? What's it called? Batman.
The Adventures of Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
It's redesign, but it's still the same person. So
I have to say, I mean, I wasn't a great fan of Bane there because he didn't seem to do much. Like, he just come in there as a hired goon for the mob or whatever like that, and I'll break the Batman, and then he gets his he's fighting Batman. Yeah. To be fair, he beat up Killer Croc and he did stuff, right? But he wasn't like the comics version of the intelligent threat that the intelligent brute. I want to put it that way. However it was.
But you got to remember this. He was still relatively new during all this, because remember he only debuted in comics 1993, right? And Batman and all that, the cartoons was like the mid 90s, so he didn't have that much of an established backstory back then. So I'd just let it all.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
It's fair enough. When they brought Cable into the X-Men cartoons, he literally was like brand new and like, okay, we have no idea what we're doing with this guy because we were told to put him in there. So I feel like they kind of did that with Bane, but with a little bit more to him. So,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What you were saying about? Sorry, I disturbed you. What you were saying about?
Oh, just like what you said, he's the mobster and that stuff, and then you even see him again in Batman Beyond or Batman in the Future, or whatever it's called.
Yeah, it's Batman Beyond.
Yeah, where he's like all decrepit because of the Venom, but then it's a ruse because he's not actually decrepit, and pretty sure he dies at the end of it. But yeah, Bane.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I think they could have done more of him, but at the same time, it's just, yeah, like you say, probably he's a bit too fresh and new for them to think what they're doing, and they're like, oh wait, so he uses Venom steroid formula over to pump himself up. That's the gimmick we're gonna apply, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, at first glance, you just assume that, just like the people that made Batman and Robin, that movie, right?
Worst Bane. Yeah. Still don't understand.
Yeah. I didn't. Not that. It's just like one of those things where you're thinking, why? You could have had any generic thug. I guess you chose the thug of the month.
Technically. Yeah, basically. Yeah.
But he wasn't really. Yeah, it could have been anyone. It could have been anyone underneath that mark, like any big brute guy. It could have been, like, for example, it could have been Killer Croc. It could have been Clayface. It could have been, well, Clayface is probably a bit more interesting, right? But you have a whole bunch of people that can just follow instructions. You pick a guy who has led his own team, kind of.
Huh?
Like
Yeah,
when he first appeared, yeah.
I'm gonna say, like, prosthetic wise and stuff, Bane was probably the easiest choice, and to like ride off the hype of Nightfall, and it's like, yeah, let's use Bane,
Yeah, I think that's exactly why they used him. It's like, well, here he is,
Yeah, basically.
What did you think of? Well, we go to the Tom Hardy Bane.
Oh, I was going to talk about there was like two other animated Banes.
Go on. Sorry, yeah.
The Bane from the Batman, from when that series started, like 2005, where it was. Yeah, Bane, that was pretty cool. He was like very like smart. They played up his smart side in that one.
Yeah,
and it was weird because he was wearing like a whole like this black. I want to say leather, but black suit. But when he injects the venom, he
okay,
red?
Yeah, he's dressed like a ninja, sort of, and then he hits the venom, and somehow the parts of his suit separate gaps so his muscles can bulk up and stretch with him.
Yeah,
like, all right, fair. And actually, I don't mind that Hulk up version because they kind of set that up. I know, fair enough. Like, there's other stuff I'm saying with Bane, but they did it like the way they were going to do it, and it seemed like it didn't take away his intellect so much.
No,
it just, I guess he was more like, all right, well, Venom is Venom.
Yeah, Venom's gonna Venom. Yeah, and it was cool in that. And then
somehow his mask separated. So he had closed mask when he talked, but somehow when he baned up, right, it separated where the mouth was.
Yeah. Which was an interesting style choice, but
so you can see his teeth, and he's like, okay, right.
But like a lot of the characters in that series, they had very interesting takes on them, like design wise. Which I thought,
it's like Rasta Joker,
Rasta Joker, long head Riddler.
Yeah, I want to say druggy Riddler. I don't know how you want to put it, but yeah. That I guess that's why I let it slide hit on this, because they're like, we're completely whatever, right?
Yeah.
The alternate universe completely, utterly. There's no, no connection to this or that. We're 100% just this way.
Yeah. I even had like mech suit Mr. Freeze, which was quite dope. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was presented that way, that it's from the beginning, kind of. I wanted to say it was Mutant Penguin, but it's kind of a cross between Danny DeVito Penguin and normal Penguin.
Yeah, who was also like some weird sort of ninja as well. We had like his kabuki dolls with that show was awesome, man. You can't watch it anywhere, but that show was awesome. And then you had the Joker, who was not Joker, sorry, Bane, that was in Young Justice for a couple of episodes.
Danny Trejo.
Yep. And he was pretty cool.
Yeah.
They didn't really play into I think their version was he wasn't using Venom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually have not seen Young Justice, so I can't.
Justice is awesome.
Completely.
If you get a chance, watch it. It's awesome.
I've seen clips though. I haven't seen the whole thing.
Yeah, it's one of the best. Ugh. And yeah, then we go on to who is it? The Tom Hardy, man.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, the voice, but now the voice has become such an iconic meme with him. So fair enough. I was expecting probably a bit more of a deeper growl, but hey, you know what?
I don't know. Like, I remember at first people was like, "Oh, it doesn't sound that great," and then like, this is my own personal thing. I think that they're like, we're gonna get this guy over, even though he has like the least intimidating voice, but we're gonna get him over from like the sheer like words he says,
the delivery,
delivery, and like the intensity of like the sentences. Like, I was born in the dark.
I'm kayfabing it as, look, he suffered that mass damage to himself. That means he could have been like, his throat could have been stomped on, his jaw could have been broken. Yeah. There's obviously a reason why he's wearing the mask. So, and it only covers that section of his mouth.
Yeah.
In the rest of his body, you saw him with the chest plate off and stuff like that. So, yeah. The only thing that you don't ever see is his jaw.
Yeah. He don't know if he has a jaw. Well, he obviously doesn't.
Yeah, exactly. That probably is why. That's probably why he speaks the way he does.
Yeah.
But he was great. Intimidating. Like, it's the presence. Yes, he had intellect. Yes, I have to say, partially because of the way that the film is, he's a bit of the mutant leader from Dark Knight Returns, because Batman's retired and then he comes back and then he gets beaten by... He's partially actual Bane, right?
Yeah.
Because he broke Batman's back and he's like his physical equal and he's got intellect and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He's partly Ubu, which is Ra's al Ghul's...
right-hand man, didn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Because he's Charlie al Ghul's right-hand man.
Yeah.
And it's just like, just a mix of all those, and you're like, all right, fair enough. I don't know where at the point the voice came from, but hey, you know what?
Well, hey, you know.
Yeah. It's just like when Brock Lesnar speaks, and you're like, that's your voice?
Yeah, you get that. Like, oh, okay, that's very not off-putting, but misleading.
Yeah, well, the thing is with Brock, because Brock never spoke for ages, so it was like, okay, and then I was like, oh yeah. Once you're used to Brock's voice, is fine. It's just at the time, for some reason, they just had them silent, and you just didn't expect that type of voice come out of him.
Yeah, you're like, oh, okay, that's weird.
Mm-hmm.
But this is like the default version that most like people think of now, isn't it?
Yeah, like you say though, it's because people remember the voice, but then you remember the voice, you remember the guy who was portraying it, and then you remember certain other things. So in actual fact, it's probably a good thing. Even though I'd say, I mean, they never said where Bane come from specifically.
No.
So his accent could have been from anywhere.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, we don't know. He could be from insert generic made-up country. Yeah, you know, that's their accent.
Yeah, exactly. And to be fair, like he learned his words in the pit, and then he killed everyone else that was in the pit that was at that time, and then threw other prisoners in there. So we never know what they spoke like.
For we know, he might like have a hybrid accent.
Yeah, exactly.
Of like every person that ever been in that pit since he was a kid. As he was
yes, that's true. That is true.
Yeah.
I will say as well, it's quite shockingly accurate how they did that with the pit. Obviously, it wasn't Lazarus' pit or anything, but what I mean is Bane's mother had to serve time for the crime that Bane's father committed.
Yeah.
His father's not Ra's al Ghul. In this, his father's not even Ra's al Ghul this, right?
Yeah.
Actually, no, I'm misremembering. Because I was like, oh yeah. And then I realised, actually, it was Talia that was born in the prison. So to be fair, they didn't say that Bane wasn't.
No, they didn't, did they? No,
No.
they don't.
So I think at a certain point, maybe Bane's history was similar.
Yeah, could have been.
But when the guy was like, "Oh, it's Bane's story," wouldn't want it to be told. It's like, yeah, maybe he just had a similar backstory to Talia, and he just was actually left in prison to rot.
But it kind of makes sense because, like, it makes sense why he saved her as a kid or whatever, because he remembered being a child in prison. Yeah, it makes sense.
But what I meant was, they used the backstory of Bane pretty well, considering they just adapted it for Talia.
Yeah.
What did you think of Talia being the mastermind of all that? In the end,
I'm one of the few people I actually did not see it coming.
Yeah, well, I was like, I don't mind her. It's not like she was commanding Bane or anything. It's like when she had to pretend to be Miranda Tate, Bane was still getting stuff done.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say, they were. He was like an underling. He was more of the guy who's partner, like they're partners, but he's front facing.
Yeah. Yes, he was the figure. He was like the not figurehead. Yeah, he was the poster boy for it, but really behind the closed door, it was Talia.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, very good. He just beat the crap out of Batman. He's fighting a guy who's armored up, and that's some heavy armor, by the way.
But like, I just realized this. Yeah, this is a random plot point. I just realized as well. Okay, so how old is Bane meant to be then? Because didn't he save Talia when she was like, say, 7, 8 years old?
Yeah.
And he was a full-grown. Well, we'll say he was like, say, a man in his late teens, early 20s, right?
Yeah. That's been generous, but yes, go on. No, I was gonna agree, because I was like, if we're gonna have to adjust the timeline, I will. Yeah. So probably yes.
Yeah. So isn't he then like in his like 40s or 50s or whatever?
Yeah.
Huh.
I think that's my logic as well. It's got to be around that time, that age.
Huh. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
And then it's gonna be very weird unless Talia ages slower as well. And then I don't know.
Nah, he's in his 50s or something like that.
Something like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anything that makes sense. But,
yeah. The only other Bane I know of. Okay, yes. There's I haven't watched the Harlequin TV series.
Bane in that's awesome. He's awesome.
Yeah.
In that. Yeah.
But they do the Tom Hardy voice.
Yeah.
And when you say awesome, right? Is he amazing or is he like from the clips I've seen? He's a punchline character, but that entire series is everyone's a punchline character, so it doesn't affect him in my view either.
No, everyone's in that's a joke, so he fits it, and it's quite funny because like he's a big muscular guy, but how they portrayed him in this, he's like super sensitive about things.
Yeah.
So it's like he's got all those muscles, but yet the littlest things upset him.
All right.
It's good, man. It's good.
Should I check out that series? By the way,
check it out.
Yeah. All right, I gotta find that somewhere. I'll watch it at some point. All right. And yeah, the very last version of Bane, probably the latest version of Bane in an alternative media, is Eduardo Dorrance, Gotham.
Yes.
Now, this is not Bane.
No.
Bane's actual name, we don't know.
No. So it could be this, but it probably isn't.
Yeah.
But
No, because Bane is the son of Edmund Dorrance.
Yeah.
The King Snake. But there's no first name for Bane. He just calls himself Bane, so we're just going to allow that.
Yeah.
And I'd say technically this isn't Bane, but he is Bane because he says he's Bane, right?
Yeah, he's the bane of their existence.
Yeah. So he isn't. He might not be Bane, but he is a version of Bane.
Yeah, he's a Bane.
And I have to say, even across continuity, man loves his color grip.
Yeah. Yes, he does.
Yeah, and that's the thing as well. By the way, you're doing the voice. It's like, all right, so you're telling me somehow he's speaking normally, and then when you put on the mask, it it tweaks to that kind of the Tom Hardy version of Bane ish with the way you say things and the way you speak.
I guess so.
Yeah. Why not well, if Gordon was fighting him, and he went through a pole, right?
Yeah.
In his heart area.
Yeah.
If that pole went through his throat, no, I mean that'd be very graphic, by the way. But you could say, or Gordon hit him, hit him across broke his jaw or something like that. Fair enough, you could be, but hey, I don't know how the voice changed, but we're just gonna say the entire contraption that he had that was forced upon him. May have adjusted how his vocal cords went.
Yeah, but
yeah,
yeah, whatever. He was all right. He served the purpose of the series.
Yeah, exactly. He was there to do what he was written to do. I want to say he was particularly insignificant. He wasn't particularly Bane-like.
No.
Other than breaking Alfred's back, which, Bane broke Alfred's neck. So okay, fair enough. He tried to break someone.
Just realised though that happened before Alfred's neck got broken, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. But so I would say some media versions of Bane I like, and some I don't.
Yeah.
I don't like the dumb version of Bane, like the one that's basically over reliance on Venom.
Yeah, so basically the Batman and Robin version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough, by the way, if we're arguing that that Venom causes him to have like doses because in all these other things he's been overdosed in Venom so many times.
Yeah.
Fair enough if you're going to say that Venom just causes him to, like his brain to rot or whatever it is with the overdose. As you know, with any drug, when you take it too much, you start getting a bit of a
a bit of a mind mess. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So onto comics Bane now.
Yes.
I guess Bane at the same time I knew Bane, and what we knew about him is that he broke Batman's back.
Yeah.
Did you read any stuff beforehand? Because there were a couple of Bane stories that were set just before Nightfall-ish, kind of to lead into it.
I don't think I did.
I think I read some of those afterwards, but yeah. Like, hey, good on Bane. When I think about it, by the way, how much DC were like, oh wait, we're gonna protect Batman, like he's Super Cena, because what's gonna happen is Bane very intelligently decided, all right, I'm gonna fight the Batman, but I'm not gonna fight the Batman like all these other jabronis on equal footing. No, none of that.
No.
I'm gonna shoot a rocket at Arkham Asylum and let all his villains go out, and then just wait for him to have to put them all back into prison, and then when he's tired and messed up, I'll just go into Wayne Manor, slap him across the face, and whatnot. And the thing is, not only was Batman dealing with all of them villains, he also had the flu.
Yeah, so it's like you're stacking these odds up against him.
Yeah. But the major problem is this, right? When you have the flu, you are done for.
Yeah, man, he ain't walking around.
Yeah, exactly. And it's that when you read Nightfall, it's like fair enough. He's got some ailment of some sort, but if he can do stuff he can do there, even in the comics universe, still is like, wow, he is superhuman.
Yeah, he crazy.
Yeah. But I was like, oh, Bane, you're first of all, when I'm reading it as a kid, I'm like, oh, you're a chicken, Bane, you're a chicken. You can't, you beat up a guy who's like already on the verge of death, essentially.
Yeah.
But then when you look at it when you're older, you're like, well, this is the stuff that Batman pulls off all the time. So I ain't hating on Bane for doing it.
No, you can't, innit? It's like, well, Batman's done it, so.
Yeah, Batman's like, well, I won't fight people direct or anything like that. I'll sneaky beat them. I'm like, you know what? This is what this guy did.
Yeah, he did. And it made him infamous forever.
Yeah, which then causes a problem, like with Doomsday. Is like, once you start at the top, where can you go?
Yeah. The only thing, like, kind of helped Bane in that way was that he's a human character.
Yeah.
So you can actually like add to him.
Yes. I have to say as well, Bane, DC had Bane, Batman put over Bane, even though it was just like when Bret Hart had the flu and he was fighting the Mountie. Yeah, okay, right. But then they used Bane to put over John Paul Valley. You're like, right?
Yeah, you're like, oh, okay, sure.
Yeah. And when they were relatively equal footing, I'd say, because John Paul Valley had nothing wrong with him when he came to fight Bane, other than the Azrael Matrix thingamajig, which was causing him mental issues as well. So I don't know if you had to say he had something wrong with him or not, but that was an addition of some sort.
Maybe he has.
Yeah. Yeah, he started making that big, massive, bulky Azrael armor to fight Bane.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I gotta say is like, wow, that suit is armored and a half.
Yeah, it's basically like an Iron Man suit, technically, isn't it?
Yeah. And yeah, he was fine. He was fine Bane in it, and yeah, he didn't kill Bane, which was a good thing because you had Robin coming in there, and they thought the police and all that after seeing Jean Paul Valley Batman as Bats. Armor up and change, and they were like, well, he's all more brutal because he had to fight the guy who destroyed him, right?
Yeah.
They're in denial, but they're kind of like suspecting, but they're like, no, maybe that's because of this. And then yeah, they actually, I think towards the end of it, where Asbats is actually gonna, like, he's raising his fist with his clawed hands and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Find Bane pretty brutally because he's like, but Bane's like, they're slightly far away in the ring, the police, and Jean Paul Valley's like, I know, Bane's like, oh, you aren't the real Batman, you're fake. I broke the bat, and then Asbats is like, well, I'm here. Yeah, if you want to break the Batman, come at me, bro.
Yeah.
Bane's like, Gotham is mine. Gotham is my pocket. I own it. And Asbats, while he's shooting the mechanical backgrounds from his gauntlets, it says, "Prepare to be mugged." And I was like, okay.
Like, sure.
Is it heel versus heel? What's going on here? But yeah, you had the Robin run in there when Asbats was just about to, I think it was going to punch Bane some more, punch him to death maybe, I don't know, because it's like, yeah, them clawed gauntlets ain't joke.
No, they're not. Far from it.
Yeah, Tim Drake, 1 year into being Robin, roughly, had to go and save. Had to go and save Bane, but kind of, I think it was just like, look, if you do this in front of the police, you're done for as well.
Yeah, like, then our whole thing's done. So chill, dude.
Yeah. What were your opinions on the Nightfall storyline?
It was good. Like, I only read like the issue of Batman got his bat broken when I was a kid, and then I went back, I think it was a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
To actually read the whole thing. I think it was for this, if I remember correctly. And I was like,
it had 2 thick graphic novels. Jeez.
Yeah. And yeah, it's good. I'm surprised they haven't made like an animated movie out of it yet, but we'll see.
And this was in the era where Batman was wearing essentially a cloth costume because that thing wasn't armored. Because he was wearing underneath. So there was the episode or the part with Poison Ivy in it.
Yeah.
Who was hypnotizing people in the gala. And Bruce Wayne had the Batman suit underneath his tux. Yeah. Bane watching this through binoculars, saying, "Yep, that's the Batman." Like he just saw Bruce Wayne's mannerisms and what, and he said, "Yeah, that's Batman." I'm like, well, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's some detecting going on there.
Yeah. Well, it was better than the John Blake version. Like, oh yeah, I knew he was Batman because you came to the orphanage and you just had the sense of someone who was an orphan. Like, wait, what?
Well, I'm going to say, to be fair to Bane as well, he was studying Batman-related material for all his years in solitary confinement prison, whatever he was in Central Priestess. So, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense more than.
And then you come to Gotham and you come to hunt a guy down.
Yeah. Yes. Oh.
Yeah. So, okay, Batman got his win back off Bane, but I would say I don't think Bruce Wayne Batman got his win back from Bane till way later, where it was Batman issue 700.
Yeah.
Where it was sorry.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's when I think
That's
it was after Contagion, and where it was revealed that Ra's al Ghul decided to poison all of Gotham or something like that. And then there was Ubu in the story.
Yeah.
But it wasn't Ubu, it was Bane instead. Because Bane was now, instead of Batman being Raz's, what's it called? Disciple? Or
yeah, it was Bane, innit? Yeah.
Yeah, because they decided, like Raz was like, well, if I can't have you, I'll have essentially the next best thing.
Yeah, I remember that now.
Yeah, and Bane shacked up with Talia there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then later on at some point, Talia shacked up with Jason Todd. So I'm like, Talia, you kind of.
But isn't it before that, technically, right?
Yeah, well, it depends on when they retcon his existence back into the DC universe.
Wait, I'm trying to remember. Because 700, that's close to Batman R.I.P. and all that stuff where he.
Oh no, I think that's a bit further away.
Oh, you sure?
Yeah.
Cause I'm pretty sure Batman 700 is during.
Sorry,
Batman
Detective Comics 700.
Okay. There we go. Yep. There you go.
Yeah.
That makes
Sorry.
now.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah. So Batman had this fight with Bane. I'm like, oh yeah, they're 1-on-1 and whatnot. So it's like, oh, of course he's got to get his win back. He can't lose. He's lost to Bane already. But so when they find the equal footing, well, they kind of did, but they kind of didn't, because you know how Batman is. I think they were fighting on a boat or something, and the one of the gas cords got ripped out, and then Batman's like, well, I'm going to dive into the fridge or something like that. And let the explosion explode, right? And Bane's just out there, right? I think he was behind a tip table or something like that, so he was all right. Yeah. But all you see is so you see the panels with Batman inside the fridge because it's rocking around and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But and then when he opens the fridge, Bane is on like the planks of the exploded blow, and he's like, "Yeah, like come on, Batman, let's finish this." And it's like, well, I don't know actually what happened here, 100%. It could have been the explosion that knocked the fridge flying into the water, or it could have been just Bane grabbing that fridge and just like, "Yeah, I'm gonna drown the dude."
Oh wow.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm thinking. I was like, it's ambiguous. Batman thought it was the explosion that carried him, but like literally, it could have been Bane that done it. But yeah, then they have the bit more fisticuffs.
Yeah. And
Batman finally knocks out Bane. But then I think what happens is, like, because of the other people that were involved in the story distracting Batman or however, Bane just kind of floated to sea.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's like, all right, well, I have to stop Ra's al Ghul. I can't even worry about Bane right now.
Yeah, Bane's on the back burner.
Yeah. So it's like, all right, fair enough. Yeah. But then every other time they kind of had an interaction.
Yeah.
It was a draw, so fair enough. Later on, they have more interactions, but I think they're just like, all right, well, we can't have Bane just keep on losing and be a jabroni.
Yeah,
get them one win, and then kind of have them on equal footing throughout. Makes a bit more interesting.
A tiny bit.
Well, not necessarily interesting, but just doesn't make the Bane character cannon fodder.
Yeah. She doesn't need to be.
Yeah, and I think what was kind of cool is when they had the No Man's Land storyline.
Yeah.
And Bane was in it. Bane's like, yeah, Lex Luthor. Batman finds Bane. I'm going to deal with Bane. And you think, oh, he's just going to try and beat him up and fight him because he's Batman, right?
Yeah.
But no, he finds what Bane is during the fracas or whatever it is. What's going on.
Yeah.
And he's just like, Bane, I tell you what, yeah. I know exactly why you came here. You came to blow up some buildings, so all the paperwork has disappeared, and then Lex is just going to buy up everything for a cheap price. So I want you gone. Bane's like, I don't know, Batman. I mean, like, I did break your back before, so you want to test me, boy? And then Batman's like, well, look, Bane, I'm sure Luthor's already paid you for
your troubles.
yes, right? So here's what you got to do, yeah? He ain't going to have no money left afterwards. So after I'm done with it, all that. So you take his money, you go, you'll be good. And Bane's like, you know what? Yeah, okay, but fair enough. I will stay here, finish my Johnny Walk or whatever it is, and then I'll see you later, Batman. I'm like, all right, that's one way to do it.
But so he kind of got not relegated, but like put to like side character. Pretty short in his career, really.
But in a way that he didn't need to, it didn't have a knock-on effect on him. It was just like, you know what? Hey, I'm getting paid millions, and if I stay, I ain't gonna get those millions. So fair enough.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Oh, Bane.
But yes, I think. But then again, how do you control Bane in the in that sort of environment?
Yeah.
As in, not necessarily control, but he could make his own gangs and whatnot. So it'd be way more trouble than it was worth to Batman. He had to come up with something else.
Well, I'm trying to think of a. And then, like, okay, so this is. So, wait, No Man's Land's like late 90s, right? Early 2000s.
Yeah, 999-ish.
Yeah,
That's about when Harley Quinn first made her first comic appearance.
Yeah, because before that she was relegated to the TV show, right?
Well, she didn't wonder. She was invented there. She was never in the comics.
Yeah, she was never in the comics until then. Yeah. And then, so after this, because Bane wasn't involved in, because my like early 2000s Batman is kind of like in the air. I don't really remember what. I actually didn't read it until like say 2005-06.
Yeah.
Back. So between then, what did Bane do?
Between 999-ish and 2005 or something like that.
Yeah.
Between before Rebirth is what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
So. Oh, okay. So he was in a villain crisis, with the villains, right? It wasn't major though because he was just a side character. But what's funny is, they have the panel of him breaking Judo Master's back.
Yeah. Then
later on, I think in Suicide Squad or something like that, Judo Master's like, well, Bane. Judo Master's son is like, well, Bane, you broke my dad's back, and we're gonna get revenge. And then Bane's like, why are you upset that your dad's dead because of me? And I'm like, what?
What? Sorry, what?
Yeah.
Are you
like,
upset
Bane, what?
your dad is dead because of me? You kind of answered your own question there. But, all right, sure. All right.
It was like, yeah. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
And I think he got beat up by Judo Master though.
That makes sense.
Yeah, but he didn't get killed, of course, because And then he was in Secret 6.
Yeah, because that's when I kind of got back his comics, I was like, oh, Bane's in Secret 6. That's cool. Right.
Yeah, and I really liked what they did with him, actually. I mean, I flickered in and out through that story arc. But it was like him, Deadshot, Catman. They were kind of, they were the ones like, I wouldn't say Bane was a secondary. Well, no, Bane wasn't the leader, but he was definitely a secondary.
Yeah.
Like the guy with the strength and the power, essentially. So they'd not necessarily ask him, but they would consult him,
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that helped bring him to more prominence. But they also played up his seclusion because he didn't know how to date or anything like that. I know it sounds dumb because Bane's going on a date, but he had to do it for an undercover thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, he wasn't comedy. He was. They put him in comedic situations, but they took him serious as well, and it's good. Yeah. You're a flexible character like that.
Yeah.
Did you read any of this run?
No, I only know like bits and pieces.
Yeah.
Because ain't they on the run from after doing something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's something to do with Infinite Crisis, right?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. I'm not 100% sure on that because I didn't read everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's something like that.
Yeah.
And I do want to go back and read this run for all of it. Well, really, what intrigued me to read this run is like Secret Six is actually meant to be good.
Yeah.
But I want to read the Bane stuff because I want to see how how they did the character good.
Yeah.
Because generally speaking, Bane isn't presented particularly well, but also how they add to his personality.
Yeah.
I think there was another storyline where he thought Thomas Wayne was his dad. So he had to go to Batman and say, yo, right, your dad might be my dad.
Yeah.
Let's work this out.
No.
Turns out they found his dad was Edmund Dorrance. And then, Bane just kind of threw him down a pit. I'm like, all right. Yeah.
Isn't, what's his name? Gideon Marsh?
Gideon Marsh? Who's that?
Oh, no, someone, something Marsh.
Okay.
Lincoln Marsh?
Lincoln March, you're thinking?
Yeah.
Who's gone?
Who's meant to be, he could be Batman's brother.
Yeah.
That's quite interesting in that, but
Yeah, I wonder how that would. As far as I'm thinking, that's an alternate. I don't know because he could. That guy also was going to have. It seemed like he had memory issues or something.
Yeah.
And there was a Bruce Wayne Jr. in one of the alternate. A Thomas Wayne Jr. in one of the alternate continuities. So he's like he could have been slipped from that universe over because the merging of the stuff like that. You get I don't know where specifically they were going with that. Not necessarily, but it's just like he could just be some dude who thought he was special.
Yeah.
Because Martha Wayne took an interest in him.
Yeah.
But so New 52 Bane.
Yes.
I think the first appearance of New 52 Bane, he had the actual tanks of venom attached to his back, like he was in Arkham Asylum, and then he was dumb muscle sort of thing.
Yeah, because that was the David Finch Batman books, isn't it?
Yeah.
I forgot it was.
And I was like, no, please, come on.
Yeah.
There's more to him than this. Sorry? Go on. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that was, yeah.
Yeah. But then but when Tom King took over Batman, he made a massive storyline with Bane, which was like 75 issues in total.
Yeah, because he was always in the background with it, wasn't it? Because he was in the first. He was in the first arc of it, wasn't it? The whole Gotham Girl.
Yeah.
Gotham Man. Was that?
No, they just called him Gotham. Gotham and Gotham Girl.
Yeah.
I think. What did you think? Like, there's ups and downs, by the way. Like people, I don't think they completely agree on how that run was. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I think also it really helped elevate. Not elevate Bane, but make him his status in the DC universe kind of. He's more top tier than you think.
Yeah,
it rehabilitated him.
Yeah,
to a certain degree.
Even though, like the revamp of him in a way, it makes him more menacing, but then it's also like realistically, for example, he couldn't do anything against like Green Lantern or Superman. You know what I mean? Like,
no.
Yeah, but yeah. He became like a kingpin of Gotham, which is pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So there was that I Am Bane storyline.
Yeah.
Where Bane was trying to get to the Psycho Pirate, and Batman's like, I want to bring a Psycho Pirate to Arkham Asylum. I'm going to do the exact same thing that Bane did to me, right? I'm going to unlock all these prisoners, and then make Bane fight them.
Yeah. I was like,
and then when he's done with them, I'm going to beat him up.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, Batman, like, if it wasn't New 52 where they where they supposedly only had the 5 years worth of history.
Yeah.
I would say, Batman, you hold grudges for a long time.
Yeah.
You're like, all right, you broke my back about 10 years ago, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just waiting for the chance to do the same to you. All right.
Yeah, I've been planning this for 10 years. Yeah.
Yeah. How do you like it?
That's so mad.
But that's the thing, actually. Even at the end of the City of Bane storyline.
Yeah.
where Batman's he picks up Bane and is about to break Bane's back.
Yeah, and he's like, you know what?
Yeah.
You're not worth it, dude.
No, Thomas Wayne shot him.
Oh, he does, isn't it? Yeah. I read this recently
I was
as well.
I was also thinking that was going to be the way. I thought he was going to lift him up and then be like, just kind of drop him on the ground, say nah. But yeah, no, he got shot by Thomas Wayne. The star scream of the entire show.
Yeah.
Because Thomas Wayne from the alternate Flashpoint universe was
Helping
his logic.
Bane?
Yeah, I don't know about his logic, by the way. He's like, well, look, all right, I don't want my son to be Batman, so I'm going to team up with his villains to teach him
not to be Batman. Yeah.
Because it will lead to a bad life. Wait, so
like, too late.
Just like, well, you're beating him up as well. I don't get your logic.
Yeah, you've beaten him up. You stole his child.
Yeah.
Like, there's lots of things in this that
you beat up all his adopted kids, right?
Yeah.
Bane also did that, but you're like, yeah, I want to beat my kids up, and that's why to show him that he shouldn't be the way he is.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Like, wait, what?
Yeah. That Thomas Wayne, a whole nother type of nutter.
Yeah.
But to be fair, I would say he's gone through a lot. Yes, his logic may not be sound, but he's got issues as well.
Yeah.
All these people just need to seek a therapist, you know?
Yeah, or just sit down and talk about their issues together.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why I made you angry. Okay, I'm sorry. Oh, cool. I won't be the Joker no more because I've got the apology.
Yeah, funny, right? I do like so for some reason in parts of these, like this entire Tom King run, Bane's like sitting on the top of skulls naked.
Yeah, and he fights Batman naked.
Yeah, and I'm like, right on, Bane. I mean, yeah, there you go, and I'm like, all right, I feel like this is actually a lot in character.
Yeah.
Like,
super weird.
I'm the most dominant guy here. I'm the biggest, baddest dude. I don't care.
I'm just gonna fight people naked, you know.
Yeah.
It's like, all right. Break necks everywhere. Yeah.
And to be fair as well, he did win that battle. The one where he's naked.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Maybe because Batman's like, oh no, don't do your thing, just touch me.
Yeah, like no one wants to fight a naked dude.
Yeah.
And like I always say to people, if you're gonna get robbed or anything, if someone's trying to fight you, just get naked. People run away.
Actually, I saw a clip, by the way. You ain't wrong. Sorry.
I think I know what clip you're talking about.
Yeah. So some dude was deliberately antagonizing another dude, right? And the guy put his fists up to go, and then this dude, the first dude, started just taking off his clothes, and then he had a thong or something on, and the guy just the guy who was like, all right, I want to fight. He just turned around and said, no, I don't want none of this.
Like, nah, this ain't worth it.
Yeah.
I'd rather not. No. Yeah.
But yeah, no. I like. You could say, I could believe that if you said to me, "Oh, at Tom King's run, Bane basically suffocated the entire storyline by being the main antagonist through 75 issues." I'm like, no, he wasn't. He wasn't. He weaved in and out of it, even though he was the main big bad. There were other things going on that Batman had to deal with, and he was never like completely like he was the main person behind it, and he's the main person in his set story arcs within it. But there's other things that, you know, he's around but not there.
Yeah, because like realistically, the main sort of point of the whole Tom King run was more the Batman, Catwoman, will they, won't they get married sort of thing, innit? Really?
Yeah, and then Bane somehow talked Holly Robinson into talking Selena Kyle. Holly Robinson, by the way, being from Batman Year One.
Also, she was Catwoman for a while as well.
Yeah.
In the old 52.
Talked Selena Kyle into not marrying Bruce Wayne because he'd be like, if you make him happy, he won't be Batman anymore.
Yeah.
And then that will lead to many people dying because, you know, he's giving up his quest or whatever. So Batman can't have happiness.
Kind of.
But then again, that's why I'm also the logic of. I can understand logic of Bane, by the way, because he's like, well, I'm just destroys man's life, mentally, physically, and all sorts. Because that's how he did it the first time around. But Thomas Wayne, he's like, no, I'm not gonna. If Bruce Wayne is happy and stops being Batman, isn't that your end goal? So why did you let this Holly Robinson thing actually happen?
Yeah.
Anyways, maybe he just wanted to tell his son off. You know how it is when you're the dad, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, my son's doing wrong, and I won't correct him yet. I'll just like tell him off, son.
I'll just watch him do bad and then say, well.
Yeah, exactly. And then tell him off afterwards when he gets caught. No, I never wanted you anyways, and that stuff.
I wish you died instead of your mom. Like, oh, okay.
So yeah, I think if I remember correctly, at the end of this run, I think Thomas Wayne gets put in hospital, right? Thomas Wayne shoots Bane in the head in this.
But Bane doesn't die. But yeah.
Yeah, because at the end of the story arc, Thomas Wayne's in hospital, and Bane. Does he break his back in the hospital?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's like, all right, well, that's what you get for betraying everyone. I will say as well, something odd in the storyline. I mean, but something that made a lot of sense. The way that Gotham and Gotham Girl got their powers was through a super enhanced version of Venom.
Yeah.
That gave them superpowers. Now, Bane took over the city. Fine, fair enough. Logically, the reason why no one comes to Batman City is basically Batman City, like no superheroes or whatever, to help Batman, because they could just really take care of anything, right?
Yeah.
Batman's like, no, I can deal with the city, and they leave it be. But when Bane takes over the city, for what reason can't not the superheroes go in there? Why can't Superman say, yo, no, let me in here.
I think there's a scene, if I remember correctly, where some superheroes come in, and then I think it's Green Lantern and someone, or the Atom someone.
Captain Atom.
Yeah, that's it. And they're like, if you do this, then blah 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 blah. And doesn't Gotham Girl like beat the crap out of him? Yeah, I think that like they had to think of a reason why Bane would like all the criminals in Gotham would be allowed to do whatever they do because Bane's taken over the city. And one was there was a threat of something, and the other thing was like Gotham Girl like got superpowers and just be like, any metas that come in here, I'll beat them up. And then they get Captain Atom, who's a very powerful meta, by the way, and he just gets treated like a jobber to the stars. Yeah, which has always been a bit weird to me, but yeah. Yeah,
exactly. And then in his hospital bed and whatnot, a lot of people getting hospitalized, by the way, in the story arc.
Yeah.
In his hospital bed saying, don't go there, don't go there. I'm like, but Gotham Girl can't take Superman, so I don't know, or Wonder Woman, so yeah.
Yeah, it was always... I didn't get it, but I was like, you know what?
Unless, of course, here's the logic. If that was the case, then later on it was revealed Batman basically told everyone, no, look, don't go in there, I can take care of it. And then you'd be like, well, fine, fair enough.
But even then, that's a bit like,
Yeah, I know that, right? But it lends a bit more credibility because you're like, fair enough.
It does. It's one of those things, comic books, got a comic book, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the best way to put it. Like, for reasons. Like, okay.
I have to say as well, Bane breaking Alfred's neck was something altogether.
Yes. He...
Oh, you know what? Okay. So Damian Wayne went into Gotham when he wasn't supposed to.
Yep, even though he was told not to, and he did it anyway.
Yeah. Thomas Wayne and Bane captured him and then basically said, look, we warned you not to come in here, so we're going to have to punish you guys because of what you did. What you did, you little boy.
Yep.
Snap Alfred's neck right in front of you. I'm like, whoa.
Yep. And that has set Damon on the path he's going down now because he still feels guilty for...
Even though, may I add, he didn't do it impulsively because there was supposed to be a plan. There was a plan.
Yeah.
It's just that they didn't take into account between Bane and Thomas Wayne that they'd actually murder Alfred.
Yeah.
They thought they'd still use him as hostage.
But no.
No. That's next level stuff, I guess.
And surprisingly, as of recording, Alfred has not come back from the dead.
Yeah.
Which I was surprised.
I can't remember. I'm gonna have to search it up. But there was when Alfred died. So back in the 60s or 70s, he died at one time, and he came back as a Batman villain.
Okay.
Alfred Pennyworth. Yeah, he came back as a Batman villain. I don't know. I want to say it was called The Stranger, but that doesn't sound quite right.
Stranger. Oh.
Yeah, that sounds a bit too generic.
Yeah.
But yeah, so maybe they'll do that. He'll come back as some sort of Batman villain, which wouldn't, I suppose, make sense. But then again, if his neck broken, how does he?
It's one of those things. I was like, I don't want him to come back, but I know eventually he's gonna come back in some shape or form.
Yeah.
Like alternate dimension, Alfred, or reboot Alfred. Something's gonna happen.
Oh, the Outsider. He was called the Outsider.
That does sound familiar. Yeah. Oh. Stay dead like Uncle Ben.
Well, I think like you say, give it a good couple of years. He'll come back.
Yeah. I would either want him to be like a good reason for him to come back, or just literally like, yeah, he's back, and don't explain it.
yeah, could do something like because you know how they have a crisis of some sort.
Yeah.
They could just and then Alfred just reappears back.
Yeah, and just carry on like nothing happened. And like,
yeah. Oh, remember that time you were dead? No, Master Bruce. I actually do not remember that time. All right, fair enough.
Okay,
move on.
Cool. Makes sense.
Yeah. What was I going to say about? I forgot it. I can't remember if it was about Bane or Alfred or something. I had something I was going to say, but it slipped my mind now.
Oh, but yeah. Alfred, he's got murdered by Bane. So since this, that happened. I want to say 2020, 2021.
Yeah.
What's Bane done since, or has they kind of used him?
Well, Bane. Okay, so they did the a One Bad Day series.
Yeah, which I read today.
Yeah. Which, by the way, so I actually do like the idea of what they were doing. How many of them have you read?
Only that one, because I was going to ask you, what is the whole premise behind the One Bad Day thing?
Okay, so this is what I'm getting, by the way. 'Cause I haven't read all of them, but I've read the Mr. Freeze one, I've read the Penguin one, the Two-Face one, the Riddler one.
Yeah.
There's the Bane one, which I've also read. There's the Catwoman one.
Yeah.
And I think there's maybe a Ra's al Ghul one, I think. But basically, I would say there would be a Joker one, but Joker's one is the Killing Joke.
Okay, yeah.
So they all kind of spawn off that-ish. And it's just... I'd say, realistically speaking, it's a character highlight.
Oh.
Of well, not highlight, but it's spotlight on those Batman villains.
Okay.
Like, not necessarily a story from their perspective, but it's one where they are at this not exactly a great point in their lives, and it's their, I want to say necessarily their version of the Killing Joke, but that's how it plays.
Okay.
The Riddler's one's quite interesting because it sets up his backstory of how and why he became the Riddler.
Yeah.
But then it also plays him as outsmarting the Batman, but not.
Okay.
Because and then the Penguin one also is just like, he's got ousted. Someone's taken over his the Iceberg Lounge, and he's just like, well, this my story of getting back on top.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I think Mr. Freeze's one is more like, him and Nora.
Okay.
So they're quite good. Sorry, they're quite good. Two-Face's one as well. Like it's nice to see they add like how they expand the backstory of their origins, sort of. If they go in that direction. What did you think of the Bane One Bad Day?
Okay, when is it? I enjoyed it. I was like, that's pretty cool. Like he's sort of, I kind of read it as like this is set like kind of in the not distant future, but not so
Yeah,
far.
yeah.
But he's like retired and just living out his best life as a luchador.
For real, and you say that. I know. That Bane looks like a Mexican luchador, but for real, in the beginning of this series, he's in a wrestling ring in Mexico somewhere, and they're introducing him as a man who breaks the bat because they have all these luchador. There's this luchador is dressed as Batman. He's kind of promo like he's Batman.
Yeah.
And yeah, Bane's the heavyweight champion of the world or Mexico at that point.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like a pantomime play sort of thing, but in wrestling.
Yeah.
Because what he does is he's fighting this fake Batman, and then there's a bit where he like smacks him across the head or something like that, and that Batman speech bubble is like his Bane's going off script.
Yeah.
And Bane picks him up and breaks his back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, oh no, he broke his back.
I can't remember if he even gets the 1, 2, 3, but I'm just gonna say it's a TKO. Yeah.
Yeah, because he just walks off. So yeah, he's saying that he just gets TKO.
Well, you're saying though he should have lost by count out, right?
Yeah, should have. Well.
No, I think that Batman got stretched out. But then that Batman appears like when Bane's in the locker room getting changed. That Batman appears. So yes, Bane, we got them good.
Yeah.
You know, thanks for allowing me to wrestle the legend such as yourself. I'm like, all right.
Yeah. And then he goes back to his mansion, whatever. Then he thinks someone's breaking in, but it's not someone breaking in. It's a fan who gives him the venom, and he's like, "No, I don't use venom anymore, and I'm going to destroy all the venoms that are in the Venom world. So take me to your supplier." So they go to the supplier, and it's some dude, Mr. Porter. Did he create the venom?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who, by the way, I think he was meant to have died at the beginning of the. Did you? Okay, sidetrack for a second when we get back to this.
Yeah.
Did you read Batman Venom? Not Batman Venom from. Not like Batman had the team up Venom. From Spider-Man,
Batman
right?
Venom. What are you talking about?
Like,
no, I didn't.
No. Yeah, Batman himself being what's it called? Been popping the venom pills.
No, but
being an addict.
Loosely knew about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think I've read it when I was a kid, and so I can't remember the exacties of it. But
yeah,
I think that guy died at the end of that storyline.
Okay.
I do that storyline though was Batman. He was trying to I think some kid was underneath something, and he was trying to save the family or whatever it is, and he wasn't strong enough to lift it. So then he's started must have went to the porter dudes to ask, can you make me stronger? Yeah. Then they started creating venom and stuff like that, which then spawned off something else. But anyways, and then he became an addict.
Okay, that's why he made reference to it in this. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah,
now.
And then Batman was what's it called? No, Batman became an addict. Not the not.
Yeah. I know, man.
And he had to lock himself in the Batcave for 2 months to go cold turkey.
As you do.
So I think he was just he started doing the old druggy sort of behavior, where it's so you had to choose to capture the criminal or pick up the drugs that are splattered on the floor because the criminal, he threw them over there for Batman to get away. And Batman's just scrambling, picking up the stuff, and he's like, wow, I sunk low.
Wow.
Cold turkey was the way to go.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
That makes sense, that reference. And then it kind of has a flashback where driving there, he kind of tells the boy that he beat the bat.
Yeah. He killed him, right?
Yeah, even though he kind of didn't because...
because it's funny, because I'm but Batman's... If he was dead...
yeah.
If they timed it in the continuity, for example, where Batman wasn't alive, even though this storyline has nothing to do with any storyline that's currently going on Batman, it's if he's alive over there, he's clearly not dead. Yeah. So what happened?
Yeah. Felt weird. So then... He gives a story about him and Batman worked together before to get Venom, and one of the things that stuck out to me, he kept saying Bane kept saying to him, "Oh, did you tell your children you work with me?" Because it was obviously they don't want anything to do with Bane because he killed Alfred. I'm guessing this is in this continuity. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then they just go through it, and then Bane helped Batman sacrifice himself.
Yeah.
To help them beat someone who had the venom.
Yeah.
And then we go back to present day where you find out that it was all a trick. That the guy wanted Bane to come to their hideout.
Yeah.
And he wants Bane to be his new herald of destruction, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll give you all the venom you want. In fact, right, this kid right here, and then but Bane, like, obviously, Bane refuses, and they're like, "Well, see this kid that you're your number one fan over here that that I allowed him to take the venom to you, because it didn't just fall off a truck."
Wink, wink. Yeah.
Yeah, I allowed him to take the venom to you, and if you don't want to be my minion, we're just gonna venom up this dude.
Yeah.
And then Bane's like, "No, I want." That's fighting talk. I'm a fight.
Yeah.
And then he gets beat up.
Yep, because the guy is hooked up on venom himself.
Yeah, the guy's like, "Well, you want to fight me? Look at this. Look at these guns."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bang bang.
Yeah.
And then,
but then I think he does. I don't want to say he breaks Bane's back, but he does something really like, okay, a normal human wouldn't be able to get up from that.
Yeah.
And then a page like when he's about to eject the kid or something like that, Bane does actually just do a fly kick. I'm like, wait a minute, didn't you just get disabled?
Yeah, it's like, because he breaks Bane's back.
Yeah.
And then Bane's like, haha, I've mastered not being able to get my back broke. Basically, that's what he says.
Yeah, that's basically what he says.
Basically, yeah. And he beats him?
Yeah, but it's like, so I don't know how you unbroke your own back, right? But,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that logic was a bit like if he didn't break his back, fair enough. I would say okay, that
makes sense. But then
traditionally comics where you just get knocked out or you get beaten up to a pulp and you can have that heroic second win and come back.
Yeah,
but when they pick you up, they break your back. There's unless they didn't break your back. If they dislocated the disc like they had in that was the official explanation, by the way, for what happened to Batman in the Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah. He just like herniated a disc or whatever it was, wasn't it?
Yeah. And then because the doctor then punched it back in, you're like, whoa, hold
on. I'm pretty sure medical school they don't teach you that because grievous body harm. But sure, all right, cool, all right.
Yeah. But yeah, then I think Bane saves the guy, gets hospitalized. Because all he wants is final fight with the Batman.
Yeah.
In the hospital bed, Batman steps out of the shadows like, "You done good. You did good, Bane. You did good."
Yep.
Bane's
don't tell anyone I said this though, but yeah, that's basically what it was. Yeah. And
then Bane's like, "Yeah, well, I had to live, and I because I wanted to fight you one last time to the death."
Yeah.
And Batman's like, "No, that's not." That's not why I come here. No. Secondly, and Bane, you can't just keep on making your reason for living is to die a noble death because that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But when you become the Bane that originally broke my back, that guy, we can have our fight then.
Yeah. Basically, it was basically like you're not too bad either, Bane. Yeah.
Yeah. That's. Even though you broke up with spread, and they actually point out because they didn't ignore it, but they're like, this is a thing that happened between us.
Yeah, something's going to bond us forever, basically, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, no, breaking out for his neck.
Yeah,
you would have. I think he, as Bane just wants to push Batman to the point where Batman will fight him, and only one of them is standing. But I think. Between that point and this point, he cooled down on that mentality.
Yeah. Even though you don't know how many years is in the future,
Yeah, it's true as well, and it's not like it's not like he's insane like the Joker. There can be an understanding between enemies.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why I was like, okay, this is quite interesting.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Maybe want to read the other ones.
Yeah. I would say. They're intriguing as well.
Yeah.
So definitely take a read. I would say some of them are better than others, and some from to be fair, I've not read all of them either. But some of them are more surface level than other ones. Some of them you like. Oh, I don't think this adds more stuff either or at certain bits, but it does give backstory to certain particulars.
Okay.
Of villains, yeah.
Yeah.
I think the only other Bane we have not talked about is Batman 1996 Bane, which is the original Luchador Bane, right?
Batman 1996?
Yeah. So obviously Bane wasn't around in 1996, but they did the Batman 66 comics.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then they had Bane.
How is
I think they Bane the 1996 version of Bane.
Yeah.
Who is a luchador.
Okay. Huh.
Haven't read it, so I can't say too much about it. But I'm like, okay, well, they're leaning into, I suppose, what Bane would be during that time period if he wasn't around.
Oh,
makes a lot of sense.
I know it's not many people talk about it, so it must not have went down well.
Well, maybe not. I don't think he was using Venom at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah, there is a Batman 66 version of Bane somewhere.
Huh.
Yeah. So in conclusion, are you saying that you're intrigued to read the rest of the One Bad Day series?
Yeah, I'm intrigued.
And you're gonna read the Secret Six?
Yep, I'll read that.
Yeah.
So I'd like to get to know more about the man who broke the bat.
Yeah. I'll probably have a read that Batman 66 Bane as well.
Yeah.
Would you say you're a fan of Bane, or would you say not necessarily he's a flash in the pan, but you're intrigued about how they write the character who peaked already?
Yeah, I want to see how they can bring someone who, like you said, peaked, did nothing for ages, and then kind of peaked again, like nearly 20 odd years later.
Yeah.
And then I don't know where he's gonna go next.
Yeah, I would say I'm a fan or not a fan, but I don't like how they sometimes just they've made deliberately prominent, and then they just backhand slap them and just say, no, this guy's a jabroni afterwards. It just doesn't help the reputation that you built for this character. Doomsday is different because they like you're saying before, there's no characterization to him, and once you beat Superman, there's only one way to go.
Yeah, damn.
Whereas Batman has been beaten before.
Yeah, it's not like Bane was the first person to ever beat Batman.
Yeah.
But yeah. He has some huge shoes to fill. Yeah.
All right. So that will conclude this episode of Trip Around the Multiverse.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I am the man that comments when kids have lovely, lovely voices. See what, John?
And I'm the man that will invite you to his basement to fight you in the nude. But you'll have all your clothes on. I'll just be in the nude to make it more uncomfortable. Charles.
Oh, I forgot to mention actually at the that second time during that storyline, the City of Bane storyline where Batman and Bane had their match.
Yeah.
I think Catwoman was there. And she was the whole plan was she was gonna lure Batman there and then switch sides to Bane. Except that she did that and she switched on Bane as well.
Yeah.
And then I think Bane was meant to fight Batman with no weapons. Except Batman took his top half of his armor off, and then he had Batarangs attached to taped on his back.
Yeah.
And basically, yeah. And then when they went to fight, Catwoman then whipped at Bane's arm, and Bane was like, "Where's your nobility?"
Yeah.
And Batman was like, "I ain't got none." And then him and Catwoman fight Bane, and he's like, "Yeah, all right, that's actually how I suspect. That's how Batman would do, though." So
yeah, that's
how
anyone would do, really. If you're fighting Bane, come on now. You go into that fight You go into that fight with an advantage. You know?
Oh, that reminds me of a story. It's side tangent, but relevant. Did you hear the story about what how Jim Cornette told Brock Lesnar that people wouldn't want to fight him?
No.
All right, so I think there was an angle where they were shooting for OVW, whatever it was, right, when Brock was kind of relatively young.
Yeah.
And he had to manhandle Jim Cornette's wife. Now, Jim Cornette's wife just had some sort of surgery before that.
Yeah.
And Brock was our Bane equivalent. Brock was a bit rough with her.
Yeah.
So Jim Cornette was like having a go at him, and then basically, and obviously Brock being genetic freak. Oh no, he did not that he did anything to Jim Cornette, but Jim Cornette's like, Brock, yeah. If you disrespect people like that and whatnot, what's gonna and no one's gonna come and fight you. That's the problem. You're a genetic freak, you understand, right?
Yeah.
What's gonna happen is they're gonna bring a shotgun and shoot you straight in the face.
Oh.
I'm like, actually, yeah, I would not.
Yeah,
I would not like to fight Brock, and that, yeah.
That makes sense.
That's the same with Bane. That's what I was saying.
Yeah, of course. You're not gonna try and fight Bane. I'm just going there straight with a nuke. You know.
Yeah.
Taking him out. I ain't got time to waste. I ain't got blood to bleed. Yeah. Oh, but yeah. So that's our discussion on Bane and Brock Lesnar taking a shotgun to the face. Are you a fan of Bane, people out there? Let us know. And you could do that by, if you haven't already, do it already, by following us on Instagram and Twitter. And the description for, the details for that should be in the description down below. Also, don't forget to follow us on the YouTube channel, where there's lots of stuff on there. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, tell all your friends about us, give us a 5-star rating on the podcasting apps. And yeah, and until next time, guys, I'd like to thank you all for taking a trip with us around the multiverse. Bye.
Bye.